How cloud seeding technology works.
The most common chemicals used for cloud seeding include silver iodide, potassium iodide, and dry ice, solid carbon dioxide. Liquid propane, which expands into a gas, has also been used. This can produce ice crystals at higher temperatures than silver iodide. Cloud seeding is usually carried out by sprinkling particles from a plane or drone. When an plane or a drone is used, it releases plumes of silver iodide into the clouds. This caused ice crystals to form in the clouds. Now that these ice crystals are too heavy to remain in the air, they fall, often melting on their way to form rain that stimulates precipitation over targeted areas.
The Earth bulges out at equator. Why?
Earth is bulged out at equator and flattered at poles because of centripetal force. The Earth spins at constant rate, but rate of movement is different. The equator is moving fastest and poles are not moving, ignoring the fact that Earth is orbiting the Sun. Because of this movement, centrifugal force is pulling matter closer to equator, which structure outwards, giving Earth slightly non-spherical shape.
The sun appears red at sunset and sunrise. Why?
Red light scatters the least by the molecules present in the air. So at sunrise and sunset, the sunlight travels a longer path through the atmosphere to reach our eyes. The blue light scatters the most and has been mostly removed, leaving the red light remaining, which reaches our eyes, hence it appears red.
The ozone layer in the atmosphere is necessary for our survival. Why?
Ozone in the stratosphere, known as the ozone layer. The ozone layer acts as a shield for life on Earth. Ozone is good at trapping a type of radiation called ultraviolet radiation, or UV light, which can penetrate organisms' protective layers, like skin. This then may damage DNA molecules in plants and animals. The sky from Moon appears black. Why?
In space or on the Moon, there is no atmosphere to scatter light. The light from the sun travels a straight line without scattering, and all the colors stay together. Looking toward the sun, we thus see a brilliant white light, while looking away, we would see only the darkness of empty space.
Roads are bent inwards on curves. Why?
When a car makes a turn, if the friction is insufficient, a speeding car may skid off the road. Because friction varies depending on the situation, it cannot be relied upon to generate the required centripetal force. Furthermore, friction causes rapid tire wear and tear. To lessen the risk of sliding and the wear and tear on car tires, the road surface at a bend is tilted inward, i.e., the outer side of the road is raised over the inner side. This is known as road banking. On a banked road, the result of the normal reaction and gravitational force can serve as the required centripetal force. As a result, any car can be driven safely on such a banked curve at an ideal speed without relying on friction.
Australian continent has winter season when we have summer season in Pakistan.
The Earth on its axis is not at a vertical angle to its orbit. It is inclined at an angle of about. In this way, when the northern hemisphere of the Earth is inclined to the sun and getting direct sun rays, southern hemisphere is inclined away from the sun and getting less direct rays. Thus, the northern hemisphere has summer season and southern hemisphere has winter season. Pakistan is in the northern hemisphere while Australia is in the southern hemisphere. So when there is winter in Australia, there is summer season in Pakistan.
Meat takes longer to cook on mountains. Why?
At high altitudes, there is a decrease in atmospheric pressure. As atmospheric pressure decreases, water boils at lower temperatures. Because water boils at a lower temperature at higher elevations, foods that are prepared by boiling or simmering will cook at a lower temperature, and it will take longer to cook. Also, meats and poultry cooked by moist heat may take up to 1/4 more cooking time when cooked at 5,000 feet.
Water remains cool in earthen pitcher. Why?
This occurs due to the process of evaporation. Water gets cooled on evaporation. As the earthenware pitcher is concerned, they have small pores. Water tends to come out of pores and evaporates, which results in cooling effect on the earthenware and water. While in the metal pots, there are no pores and evaporation does not take place. Besides, metal has tendency to absorb heat, that's why water does not get cooled in a metal pot.
Ice and salt mixture is used as a freezing agent by manual ice cream makers. Why?
When salt is applied, it dissolves into separate sodium and chloride ions that disrupt the bonds between water molecules. As the ions loosen hydrogen bonds, the ice melts into water. Salt affects how water freezes and effectively lowers the freezing, melting point of water. Creating a saltwater slush and packing this around our ice cream base allows us to cool the base enough so that it starts to thicken and freeze before the ice melts.